Thank you. So it's Christmas break, senior year. I'm in a VW camper van with my best friend Dave and a couple of stoners. We're going to the Miami Dolphins playoff game. And despite what you may have heard about stoners, there's a little bit of tension in this van. I told them that I wasn't going to support the Dolphins. On this day, I was a Colts fan. And then things escalated when I saw 3 roaches, and I'm not talking about insects here in the ashtray. I grab them, I throw them out the window because they disgust me. That causes a minor uprising. And things really hit their height of incivility when I say, hey guys, what do you say I pop in a little Fleetwood Mac? And they refuse my CD, they crank up the radio, which has Ice-T playing, and they're in my face, fuck the police, fuck the police! Which I think is a little over the top, because, you know, cops work really hard, right? But it's also kind of an omen. It's a sign that later on that day, we're all going to break the law. Now, Dave is my oldest friend in Florida. He was the first kid to befriend me when my family moved from New York. And he's like a big brother, the big brother I never had. Like, he introduces me to Star Trek, he gives me a nickname, Macho Man, and he assures me that it has nothing to do with the village people. And he even teaches me a little bit about the sexual arts. Queef, what is it? What? Queef is a vaginal fart. I mean, in this weird way, he was trying to help me kind of expand my horizons and grow. But as we went to college, I kind of stayed the virgin super nerd, and he went a little too bohemian for my taste. And when I expressed the fact this made me a little uncomfortable, he'd be like, dude, you're so white. Which is true, but, you know, I also think it's a little ironic coming out of the mouth of a 6'5" Norwegian guy. So we get to the stadium, and I'm like, Dave, you got the tickets, right? Yeah, working on that still. This guy had just one job, and you know what this means? We got a scalp. And I hate scalping. 1, because I'm cheap, just so you know, girls. And 2, because I think there's just something wrong about it. Like, getting someone to pay more for something that's really worth, using psychology, that's a dick move in my book. But, you know, what else are we going to do? I have $75 for the day, so Dave and I fan out. But we can't find a ticket for less than $100. And guys, these guys aren't budging on their prices. I mean, it's like negotiating with the House Republicans. We're getting nowhere. So I figure, you know, we're just going to pile in the van and leave. But Dave's like, no, I got an idea. And he runs off. So I rouse the stoners and we chase him until he stops in front of gate 15. Hey guys, here's where we're going to sneak in. But there's a line of people there with tickets going through the turnstile. I mean, this is not where you sneak in. You sneak in with the band before the game or something like this. And besides, I don't want to sneak in. I mean, I might run for president or something someday, and I don't want this in my file, you know? But the stoners are up for it. They jump right into the line, and I just watch as they breeze on through, and when they get on past the ticket taker, they do a little jig, they're like, yeah, bro! And they disappear. And it makes sense, right? Because everyone likes stoners. Who's going to bust the stoner, right? But I still hesitate, and that's when Dave puts his hand on my shoulder, and he goes, look, if you don't get in, I'm not going in either. And I trust him, because when I was a boy, my parents were always fighting all the time before they got divorced. I'd go crash at his house some nights. And we'd sleep in his bed head to toe so his parents wouldn't think we were gay or anything. You know, I have to say, a foot in the face is grosser than any sex act I could possibly do. But I agree to get in that line. So I do my little Rain Man in Las Vegas pose, and I kind of creep on up there, and the ticket taker's on my right, but I lean left as I go through the turnstiles. I push through her arms, and I'm in. But I'm waiting to get busted. You know, I'm the guy who always gets busted. Like when I was a boy, my mom always knew when I was touching myself, and I just thought for sure security would come after me. But nothing happens until Dave arrives, and he's like, dude, you're so white. I'm like, I know I'm white. You know, I still like following the rules. Is there anything wrong with that? And he's like, no, 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 you're white as a ghost. Now let's go find our seats. But we don't have any seats. But within minutes, Dave sees this flash of light coming from across the field. And it's funny because he's not wearing his glasses because he's so vain, but this guy can see free from a mile away. And there they are, 4 seats on the 50-yard line. Best place to watch a game. We get over there, we get some beers, and by halftime, I'm beginning to think that maybe we've gotten away with it. And as the clock winds down, right, in the 4th quarter, the Dolphins score a game-tying touchdown, sending this thing into OT. And the crowd goes insane, and I'm like caught up in the spirit of things, and I go, yes! Because I'm a bad Colts fan. But this is the best game I've seen in years. And when I look at Dave, he's smiling at me and nodding his head. And I can't help shake the feeling that maybe this is how he planned this day all along.